welcome back to another edition of the Optimized Weekly Market Recap. I'm David Ferreira, and as always for today's recap, we'll take a look at last week's activity in the markets, as well as what we're watching for in the week ahead. U.S. equity markets saw a sharp rise on Thursday, with many indices hitting all-time highs. The S&P 500 was up over 1.6% on the week, the Nasdaq finished the week up 1.4%, the Dow up 1.3%, and the TSX closed out the week up 74 basis points. Looking at sector performance, it was a strong week across the board, with materials and consumer staples performing the very best. Real estate and energy stocks were the weakest performers, however still up on the week. And looking at the events from this past week, as mentioned, many equity markets hit all-time highs, which was on the back of NVIDIA's tremendous earnings beat. Especially impressive was the earnings forecast, which was $2 billion higher than expected, aiming for $24 billion in revenue for next quarter. Its market value shot up more than $250 billion in one day of trading, setting a new record that eclipsed Meta's $197 billion one-day increase a few weeks ago. And a number of Federal Reserve governors spoke last week and all urged patience on rate cuts, particularly in the light of the uptick in inflationary pressure in January. On the Canadian side of the equation, Canadian inflation for the month of January was a positive surprise and is now back within the Bank of Canada's target range. Core inflation metrics also moved lower, a welcome development for the Bank of Canada, which should bode well for interest rate easing later in the year. Now for the week ahead, in Canada, we'll get a look at GDP data for the fourth quarter of 2023, and in the US, we'll get a pulse check on consumer spending and income trends for January. And a few big names on deck to report earnings this week, including Canadian banks TD, BMO, and Scotia. Certainly no shortage of excitement in the markets last week, with more to come in the week ahead. As always, thank you for watching and see you soon.